All right, lads. I hope you guys are ready to watch some more King Cobra. There was a video by Boglim Chronicles, and I believe he released. Uh, oh God, the most disturbing part of Boogie's documentary. Damn, son. Anyway, it should be on my watch later videos. Okay, here you go. Teeth updated vile snack. Oh God, this sounds intriguing. Wait, what? Oh, no. We got a tooth update. Oh boy. I wasn't reading this, my bad. Anyone who is grossed out by this step, skip to 40 seconds. Oh boy. Here we go. Hold on. Be right back. Sorry, I got a phone call. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. So, oh boy, and I had to pause it at the right time. So you thought King Cobra's teeth were already jacked up and bad. Look at this shit right here, dude. Like, I'm telling you, he's gonna have to get some dentures, and who knows how fucking awful that breath of his is smelling. Ugh, I can't even imagine. Like, the, yeah, his all of his teeth up here are completely fucked. Maybe these two are like salvageable, but all these right here are fucked. They're completely fucked. And then all down here, he's starting to. It's just caked. Like it's caked. Like that's why you don't see like any space or anything between the teeth, because it's all caked with like bacteria and tartar and gingivitis. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he has gingivitis, but all this shit is just completely fucked. He's gonna have to get dentures, or he's probably gonna end up, like doing it George Washington style and just you know, salvaging some teeth from wherever he could find and just using that. Ugh. Yeah, this is a very important. I would say this is the most important PSA as to why you should always brush after you eat and make sure that you floss as well. A lot of people tend to forget to floss after you eat as well, but brushing only really, cleans, it keeps your teeth clean and everything, but flossing is what gets in between all that, all those little spaces where the food can hide. And and if you don't want to floss, then look into getting yourself a water pick. My sister has one, and it gets the job done. It really does. So if you don't want to be, standing in the mirror constantly, using the little floss and just doing that into every set of row of teeth, use the water pick. The water pick definitely helps. But like I said, this should be a commercial for people who are either too lazy or just don't really care about their dental hygiene. If you don't take proper care of yourself and your body, and most importantly your teeth, this is what's going to happen. So, keep this picture in mind. Just you know, just keep this in mind. Next time you feel like, oh, I'm not going to brush my teeth, or oh, I'm not going to floss. No. This right here should remind you every single day after you are done eating a meal, go and brush your teeth. When you wake up first thing in the morning, go and brush your teeth. Hell, even go and buy yourself like a tongue scraper or a tongue brush. That shit also helps too. Because not only does keeping your teeth clean also help with your breath, but whenever you wake up in the morning, whenever you stick your tongue out and you see all that stuff, all that white stuff, that's bacteria. So using a tongue scraper as well will definitely help with getting rid of that bad breath. But yeah, this just goes out to everybody, man. Keep your mouth clean, please. I don't know where I don't know where everyone has been going with their dental hygiene, or why people have stopped caring about their teeth so much. But this right here is the perfect example as to why you should brush every single day and floss your teeth every single day. Don't think it won't happen to you. Don't think it can happen to you. It will if you keep neglecting yourself. But don't let it get this fucking bad. And even then, I mean, don't let it get bad in general. But still, take care of yourselves, guys, because holy shit. Yeah, and who wouldn't want to kiss a mouth like this, man? All the ladies are afraid of him. I mean, all the ladies, uh, according to him, he always gets compliments from the ladies, but I'm pretty sure that it's more than just his bad breath that deters them away. Because my goodness, we also got a vile food video, soft foods, of course. Ah, okay, he's not really doing hard foods anymore. His teeth can't handle it.
Want some fish and cheese?
Needs something
Yeah,
soft and gooey
man.
so he doesn't chip his other
When
front
you mix like
tooth.
a weird dish, you need some of this seasoning. You need some Frank's Red Hot Buffalo sauce seasoning. You need some fish.
Lightly smoked herring fillet.
Some King Oscar or Kipper snacks.
So fish and cheese and
or some like nice shredded, sharp-breasted cheddar cut cheese.
sharp-breasted cheddar
You
cheese.
want to microwave a small bowl of cheese in the microwave for 2 minutes. And after 1 minute, you want to add your fish.
Mmm.
Microwave for the
Mmm.
second minute.
Doesn't that look so appetizing and yummy? Mmm.
Put like a little bit of hot sauce from the seasoning in there before you microwave it.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Mmm. Also, keep in mind, once your teeth get to this, well, once your teeth start getting to this horrible stage, good luck trying to eat any kind of solid foods because, I mean, I'm pretty sure the nerves in his teeth are just completely fucked and damaged beyond, well, not beyond repair, but they're, he's gonna have to get dentures, dude. I'm calling it right now. Either dentures or, like, what are they called? Freaking, not dentures, the other thing. I forgot the name. But yeah, you keep neglecting your teeth, you keep neglecting your oral hygiene, you better be prepared to stick to a liquid food diet or soft foods because yeah, say goodbye to all your favorite stuff that you've enjoyed uh, while you were constantly neglecting yourself and your teeth.
Fish and cheese.
Fish and cheese, so good. Salty canned fish and bag of shredded cheddar cheese, a classic pairing. God. Could you imagine just like what is? Well, no, no, no. Don't imagine what his breath smells like. Just the accumulation of bacteria, rotting teeth, and all that other shit just caked in there, right? And the fact that this guy hardly ever brushes his teeth to begin with, and he only did so because a fan asked him to do it. But imagine just all the shit that he eats, all that disgusting stuff. And then, of course, his favorite snack, fish and cheese. Mmm. Mmm. So good.
How long can we make this cheese pull? That is a question, isn't it, Facebook?
No, it's not.
It is glorious.
I think the real question is, if somebody were to challenge you, well, I mean, it's too late now, but if somebody were to challenge you to keep up with your oral hygiene, I wonder how long you'd last, King Cobra. I wonder how seriously you would take taking care of yourself. But as from we've previously seen, you don't give a shit about your dental hygiene. You could give less of a fuck about taking a shower you know, for all we know. Hell, I'm pretty sure if you were to get into a shower and actually, do the routine of properly taking care of yourself, water to you and water and soap and water to you is like holy water. So just imagine what just imagine what cleanliness and hygiene products would do to you as well. But no, let's skip the shower. Let's skip taking care of ourselves. I'm pretty sure if they had some kind of way to, I'm pretty sure if Tactical Soap came out with some kind of way to be able to, some kind of oral hygiene product, King Cobra would find a way to not like actually use it. Maybe he'd rub it on his cheeks or something and just pretend that, he's taking care of himself. But other than that, like you've seen what he does. He takes the Tactical Soap and he rubs it. Like he literally just rubs it all over his clothes. So it's no wonder that his clothes are crusty as shit too. I'm not surprised. But we'll take a look at that as well. We'll see just how the sponsor of Tactical Soap uses that product.
Would you like some fish and cheese?
No, I wouldn't.
I'd like some fish and cheese.
I'm sure that you would. Keep it to yourself, Bucko. The worse his teeth get, the more his food hacks become. The slop you can slurp. Yep. I'm pretty sure you do.
Fish and cheese, Governor.
Might as well like cat food.
I like canned fish.
I won't be surprised if he actually ends up putting his favorite Lucrane, whatever the fuck you want to call it, putting his favorite brand of cheese on cat food and eating that. I'm calling that shit too. It's only going to be a matter of time before he tries to stick it to the trolls and ends up combining cheese and cat food and calling it a food hack. Or finding a way to stick it to the trolls, because that's how our boy King Cobra works. He thinks that by eating cat food, oh god, God, I was just thinking, I was like, imagine the smell of his. No. I mean, all the shit that he eats on a daily basis with all of his food hacks and all his drink combinations, and then he goes and eats cat food. No. Ugh. I almost
like
ripped him.
this kind of thing, so it's not actually not bad with his cheese. Fish and cheese. Fish and cheese. Fish and cheese.
Okay. That's how you know. Oh god. Doing the King Oscar Kipper snacks dirty, right? King Oscar would be rolling in his grave right now, dude.
There's the hot sauce you want to use. I only use a small couple of capfuls in the cheese, just a little bit for heat. And there's the cheddar cheese that I used to make the fish and cheese.
Nobody.
Fish and cheese, you wankers.
Nobody cares, Cobra. Nobody gives.
Seasoning on top of there, yes, sir.
Nobody gives a fuck. I guarantee you, nobody gives a shit.
Cheese.
Nobody except for what is it? The CEO of Chairbugs is gonna go out of their way to recreate the disgusting and vile food that you create for yourself. Only somebody as brave as the CEO of Chairbugs, shout out to him, will go out of their way to create the food and the most disgusting combinations of ingredients that you could ever think of. They will go out of their way to make it and try it for themselves. I once had an idea of taking your disgusting food hacks and drink combinations and actually making them into something palpable or palatable. But number one, I'm not gonna bother with it because it's just gonna be a waste of food. Number one, number two, it's just disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting that you think any of the stuff that you make is good, or that any of your so-called fans would go out of their way to make this shit. They're not going to. Nobody's going to except for you. And like I said, the guy who recreates your videos and samples them and gives his honest opinion on it, which everybody knows. Every single thing that you have made up to this point, King Cobra, and I'm pretty sure everything else that you're going to make in the future is absolutely fucking vile. It's disgusting. It's the most asinine thing that you could ever do with food. I'm just waiting to see when he's going to do it when he's going to pour all that cheese on the cat food and call it a food hack, because that's most definitely what's up with King Cobra.
Fish and bloody cheese, YouTube, Facebook. Look at it.
So he is so obsessed with Facebook, he completely forgot for a sec that he was streaming on a Facebook and not YouTube. Sorry, he was completely obsessed with YouTube, not Facebook. But this is the life of a rock star right here, everybody. Pay close attention. This is the sacrifice that you have to make if you want to live the life of a rock star, a true hardcore Ozzy Osbourne fan. Right? So, you want to be just like King Cobra? Say goodbye to your oral health. Everything that you knew about taking care of yourself, throw it out the fucking window. Bathing and showering and maintaining yourself clean? Fuck all that. You don't need that shit. True rock stars don't need a shower. They just take their favorite brand of soap and they rub it all over their clothing. That should be more than enough to deter people from your obviously incredibly bad body odor. Say goodbye to your social life. Don't even bother having a social life. Don't go out of your way to try to make friends with people or make connections with them. You don't need that. You don't need those kind of people. The ones that help you and push you and motivate you to be a better version of yourself. You don't need all that. All you need is to be a hardcore fan of Ozzy Osbourne or any rock star for that matter, and you live your life as a complete well, I was gonna say hermit, but I'm pretty sure that hermits even manage to take care of themselves, even though they don't necessarily go out of their way to interact with people. But like I said, this guy is King Cobra is a boglum. You know, he lives in his own world. But one of these days, he's gonna build that clock tower mansion of his. At least in his dreams, he will. And when he does, he's gonna have all the ladies coming to him. No lady's gonna be able to resist this sexy goth bad boy's charm. If his body odor and his disgusting habits won't keep you away, then I'm pretty sure his oral hygiene will. But man, oh, what a way to let yourself go.
I want you to look at it.
No, I
Fish
don't
and
want to look at
cheese.
it. You keep repeating the same stuff. Look at that. I need.
You know, fan of cheese or fish, but I like cheese and I like fish.
I'm pretty sure that you do.
Fish and cheese.
Mmm. That's the rock star. That's the rock star meal right there. Fish and cheese. You want to live like a rock star? That's how you do it. We all knew this was coming, tubes. It is what it is. Teeth are a want, not a need. Oh God. When you stop and think about it, fish and cheese are both dairy products and therefore a perfect match. Let's see. Can't even imagine the smell of that breath with all those disgusting food hacks on top of eating cat food. I spelled hygiene wrong. Hygiene. Neglecting your oral hygiene and years of letting all of that. I just realized I'm on Microsoft. But yeah, I'm so jealous of King Cobra. Man, from the duster brain to the putrid teeth to the alcoholism to the army of fangirls that are alive, of age, consenting, and not lizards, to the negative $300 in his bank account. Man, I wish I had that life. New drinking game. Play this video for your friends. Take a drink every time he says fish and cheese. Ugh. Did he somehow mishear fish and chips and decided that fish and cheese is something completely normal and not totally disgusting to eat? I'm having trouble getting my kid to brush their teeth consistently. I'm definitely showing her some of this. He didn't add bacon bits or liquid smoke. Total fail, Cobes. With all the incoming tooth pain, I wouldn't be surprised if he went Tony Chase levels of crazy sooner or later. Imagine being Cobes' neighbor and hearing him yell fish and cheese for a solid 5 minutes. Holy shit, it would be like being bitten by a Komodo dragon. The bacteria eating away at you over hours and days until you're finally dragged back into the bog to be used in a food hack. Jesus. Judging by that meal, you can tell he's going extra hard on the air duster during his YouTube break. I don't know if anyone caught what he was eating, but I think it might be fish and cheese. He mispronounces Lucrane one more time, I'm going to scream. Is it Lucrane or Lucerne? That's okay. Lucrane was only good back when it was called Mirrodin Hammer. Lucrane Troll. Makes me miss Serengeti. Lucrane Parmesan cheese. Dude, update, I'm so bricked up right now. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Let's watch some disturbing history.
This case takes place in South Africa on the 20th of July, 1985. Some of you may recognize the name of this case, as we did briefly mention it in our history channel. However, it is a relatively unknown one, especially to those outside of South Africa. Maki Skosana was a 23-year-old woman who lived in Duduza, South Africa. She was a single mother and worked at a leather factory. She would often work over 10 hours a day to support her family. During this time, South Africa was coming towards the end of apartheid, and tensions were incredibly high. Even when the British Empire abolished slavery in 1833 for the enslaved black South Africans, it was merely a change in status from slave to indentured labourer. A number of laws would be passed in the various South African colonies to restrict the rights of black South Africans. The Union of South Africa, the precursor to the modern South African state, restricted black people from owning land, from voting, and where they could live. After the Second World War, further laws enforcing segregation were passed. Apartheid as a system would begin in 1948. The goal of apartheid was simple: to maintain white Afrikaner dominance over the majority black population. Apartheid in the Afrikaans language means apartness, and the laws would seek to segregate along racial lines. There was to be distinct social, political, and economic roles for white and black South Africans. All parts of life were segregated. Interracial marriage was banned, and black South Africans were forced out of their homes into black-only slums. For the minority white population, life was considerably better than the experiences of the black South Africans. One of the key forces in South Africa opposing apartheid was the African National Congress, or the ANC. Protest was usually met with violence by the apartheid government, with protesters often killed. From burning government-issued identification to armed revolutionary activities, the ANC engaged in many forms of protest to rid the country of apartheid. The leader of the ANC, Nelson Mandela, was arrested and imprisoned multiple times, his longest stretch being from 1964 until 1990, though he continued to lead the ANC from behind bars. As international condemnation for apartheid grew, the regime sought ever more oppressive means to cling to power. The 1980s saw the ANC attempt to make black South Africans ungovernable. Violent protests and a rise in militant youth groups led to the collapse of local governance. This was met with punishments like whippings and hangings for anti-apartheid acts. Many black South Africans united to bring apartheid to an end, but for those who were seen to side with the apartheid government, could face mob justice, and sometimes people would be falsely accused. In 1985, Duduza was considered to be one of the poorest and most overcrowded communities in South Africa. There were no roads, nor sewage system, and only a handful of people had access to electricity. The poverty in the area led to a rise in crime, and with the rise in crime came a deep disdain for law enforcement. According to some sources, the township of Deduza once had dozens of police officers. However, they were forced out of the area. Their homes were said to be easily identifiable, as all that was left were burned out shells of timber, brick and metal. The police would patrol the area, but only in armored vehicles. The police were also known to be rather violent. There are reports of people being shot by the police and left for hours to die.
Oh shit,
However,
dude.
forcing out the police caused other problems. Vigilante and mob justice were known to occur, so violence was still very much rife. The people of the town could sometimes become the judge, jury, and executioners. This would sometimes lead to innocent people being killed.
Yep.
On
Civil
the 20th
unrest.
of July
Or
1985,
riots.
Mackie attended the funerals of a number of political activists that had recently died. According to some sources, Mackie was a member of a community organization affiliated with the United Democratic Front. The Front was an anti-apartheid body that incorporated many anti-apartheid organizations. She was also affiliated with the African National Congress. Around a month before the funeral, a stranger came to Deduza. This mysterious man told people in the township that he had access to some weaponry. He went on to tell some people that he was a member of the Spear of the Nation, the military wing of the outlawed African National Congress, which at the time was the main underground movement fighting white rule. He also mentioned that he was visiting the township to look for recruits. According to some, Mackie introduced this man to people in Deduza, and some sources say she was even in a relationship with the man. This man then recruited some people from the township, gave them hand grenades, and showed them how to use them. The plan was for the recruits to attack the homes of policemen. The mysterious man distributed the grenades and told the recruits to attack the officers at midnight. On the night of the planned attack, the recruits separated to hit their targets at around the same time in different villages. One of the targets was in Deduza. In a neighboring village, one of the recruits approached an officer's house, and he pulled out the pin of the grenade. But as he did, it exploded in his hands, killing him instantly.
Oh
In another
shit.
village, 3 recruits were told to attack an officer's home, and those grenades exploded in their hands too, resulting in their deaths. A building in Deduza was also supposed to be attacked, but the attack was broken up by the sudden arrival of police. All 4 of the recruits were killed. All of the recruits were left in the streets. The police didn't bother taking them to a morgue. Instead, they were left to be eaten by wild dogs. The matter was investigated, and it turned out that the grenades that the mysterious man had given the recruits were tampered with, so they would detonate the second the pin was removed. This created a number of rumors, as those in the area speculated how this could have happened. People began talking, and as they did, it came out that Mackie had introduced the mysterious weapon supplier to the recruits, and that apparently she was in a relationship with him.
Oh
It
god.
became apparent to some that this man was an undercover police informant, and that Mackie was in on it too. People theorized that Mackie could have had a hand in their demise, and that she tipped off the police with this man. Mackie vehemently denied these rumors, but that didn't stop people from believing it to be true. Before too long, plans were made to burn down her house. Mackie was told by those close to her that she should leave the area as soon as possible, but she refused. Mackie believed that if she were to flee the area, it would make those who accused her and those who were on the fence about her involvement certain that she was guilty, and she was adamant that she had done nothing. In fact, Mackie was innocent. She had not tipped off any officers that night, or any night for that matter. She too was set up and used. So on the day of the funeral, on the 20th of July, Mackie decided to attend, something she was warned against. Many who cared
Oh,
for her
shit.
saw the danger she was putting herself in, and begged her to leave the town. Shortly after arriving at the funeral, Mackie was chased and attacked by those in attendance. She ran into a nearby field before being thrown to the ground. What unfolded is hard to even describe. Mackie was horrendously beaten for some time with rocks and sticks, as well as being punched, kicked, and stomped on. She was surrounded by dozens of people, all of whom were calling for her death. A tire was placed around her neck, and the tire was doused in gasoline. It was then set alight. Flames engulfed Mackie's head and face. Some of the men there then picked up a large and heavy rock and used the rock to pin Mackie down so she couldn't move. The mob then retrieved large shards of broken glass and forced that glass into Mackie's genitals. The flames engulfed Mackie's body, and she was continuously beaten with sticks and rocks. It took some time for Mackie to succumb to her injuries, and after she died in the most horrific of ways, another large rock was used to cave her face in. During the brutal attack, every single one of her teeth were knocked out. The attack was recorded, photographed, and televised. A TV film crew was able to document most of what happened. Some of the footage is relatively hard to find, but you can certainly find it if you look hard enough.
No.
It is poor quality, but it is some of the most horrifying footage I have ever seen, and it
I
has
wouldn't go
me
to my way.
deeply sickened. In the footage, you see Mackie being repeatedly kicked, stomped, pelted with stones, and punched. Some of the people there jump on her head repeatedly. Mackie's sister recalls the day that she found her sister dead. She said at a hearing in 1997, "When I approached the gravesite, I saw her body. I approached her from the feet, and I could identify her just from that. I could identify her as my sister. I couldn't see her face because there was a large rock on top of it, as well as on her chest. I went round to try and identify the body further, and I was disgusted at the way she was killed. I discovered that all of her teeth were missing, and before she died she had 32 teeth and did not have a tooth missing. She had a huge gap in her head, and she was also incredibly injured. She was scorched by the fire and had been gruesomely beaten to death. I went to a nearby house.
Jesus.
I asked them to give me some papers so I could cover my sister's body at the gravesite. What happened to Mackie is something called necklacing, and her death was the first time that necklacing had been caught on camera. Images of her death were filmed by the South African Broadcasting Corporation and were used by the apartheid state media in anti-resistance propaganda. Kevin Carter, the photographer who captured the infamous vulture and the girl image, also captured a number of photographs of the murder of Mackie. Kevin Carter would later take his own life due to the horrors that he had witnessed in South Africa. In the note that he left, he said, "Life's plan supersedes joyfulness to the point that joy no longer exists." The practice of necklacing was continued by some members of the African National Congress. It was usually carried out against those who had betrayed the organization, who had in some way sided with the apartheid regime, or helped the regime continue to oppress. In other examples, the condemned would be bound with barbed wire as to prevent escape. In some cases, the victim could take as long as 20 minutes to succumb to the horrific burns they would endure. In addition, the tire would continue to burn long after the person's passing, making identification of the victim even more difficult. The practice was officially condemned by the ANC, though the once wife of Nelson Mandela, Winnie, was quoted as saying, "Through our boxes of matches and necklaces, we shall liberate this country." And as I said, the first recorded victim of necklacing was Mackie Skosana. The case of Mackie is considered to be one of the worst in South African history. It was certainly shocking to read about and research. To show someone such cruelty with little evidence of any wrongdoing is disturbing and highlights the horrifying issues with mob justice, as things can get incredibly out of hand incredibly fast. Necklacing has to be one of the most horrific ways to kill someone. The murder of Mackie is considered to be the most gruesome murders to ever be televised. It was later established by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that Mackie was innocent, and she was falsely accused by the mysterious man, who was actually named Joe. Joe had orchestrated the whole thing and engineered the false accusations against Mackie. Sadly, I couldn't find any images of Mackie alive. I did look for some time, but I just couldn't find any that were available. In the end, her name was cleared, and she and her family were no longer seen as traitors. Mackie was buried in the same graveyard that she was killed in, and necklacing as a form of execution is still used to this day.
That is truly fucking disturbing. I'm actually surprised that they introduced or that they spoke of Kevin Carter. He was also Kevin Carter was also famous for photographing a lot of a lot of humanitarian crisis videos, or not. Sorry, he was famous for photographing a lot of humanitarian crises happening around the world, and I believe one of his most famous photos was the photo of a child, an African child, very malnourished, underfed. He was basically skin and bones, but he was like kneeling down on a field, and behind him was a vulture. It's it's just crazy. It really is crazy. Hmm. Evil business as a breakfast cereal? Like, man, all I'm getting is just. Oh, here we go. What is this?
So as many of you guys know, I have probably been the person to document Keemstar the most out of anybody on YouTube. And I'm not joking when I say that one of the most insane and hilarious clips of Keemstar just got released today. So for context, Keemstar has started a project called LolCow Live, where Boogie2988, Wings of Redemption, and Tommy C do a podcast together, and then the farmers consisting of Turkey Tom, Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, and Nicholas Diorio react and laugh at those LolCow podcast episodes. But before this format for the show was announced, Boogie and Mudahar got into some drama unrelated to the podcast, which caused Mudahar to make a response video on his 3 million subscriber channel. Something that Boogie would obviously be dying to respond to, but was holding himself back as he promised that he would only talk about drama on Keemstar's LolCow podcast. But with the podcast being a week away from launching, and Boogie being Boogie, he couldn't help himself and decided to go onto Review Tech USA's live stream in order to talk to him about this drama, which caused Keemstar to absolutely lose it in Review Tech USA's stream chat, claiming twice that Boogie has been kicked from LolCow Live. And if you thought that was an overreaction, listen to these voice memos Keemstar left Boogie right after he left Review Tech USA's stream at Keem's request.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. Your fucking retarded fucking head. I talked to you before you went on. In my other
He goes straight for the head.
Oh, Boogie's calling into Rich.
You should have gone for the head.
We spoke. I said, don't give Rich the tea. Your exact words to me were, oh, I'm just going to go on there and tell him I'm busy, right? So you call into Rich, you tell him I'm busy. He starts milking you. You start answering every fucking question because you're an attention fucking freak. And then you have a face-off with Muta on Rich's stream. The face-off between you and Muta should be on your podcast.
Muta.
Monetized, that you make money on. Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. This is not a mistake. This is not an accident, you fucking retard. You did this on purpose. I talked to you before you went in. I fucking hate you. Fuck you. All the time and effort into this fucking show to help you guys out, and you can't do the simplest task. I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Retard.
Yeah, obviously I fucked up. I was just going to go there to promote the show. I didn't know Muta was going to come in there and pull his shit. I should have left when Muta showed up.
Yeah, but you didn't, Boogie, because you're fucking stupid. Because you can't help. Your narcissistic tendencies cannot help in you. You know, you crave that fucking attention. No matter if it's good or bad, you fucking crave it. And for the most part, you'll fuck up everything that has been given to you. Just like Wings, just like DSP, just like LTG, just like Sonic, just like all the other lolcows on YouTube that have had so many chances to redeem themselves and try to paint themselves in a better light. No, you just can't let that shit go, Boogie. You're not like you're illiterate. You're illiterate. you're illiterate in financing. You're illiterate in everything, really. Everything.
So, but you're right. I respect your decision. Let me know if you need any of the passwords or anything like that. I'll be glad to hand them over. And let me know if you change your mind. And also, you didn't call me and you didn't talk to me. You sent me a message here, but you didn't call and talk to me. We didn't talk. I mean, I understand you're upset right now, but we didn't talk.
I need you to fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. I need you to get on your fucking hands and knees, have your girlfriend fucking film you and say, I'm sorry, Keemstar. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm sorry, fucking Tommy C, Nicholas Diorio, Muta, fucking Tom, everybody that's even fucking cared about the Law Call podcast. I'm such a selfish attention fucking retard that I want attention. I want to be in conversation so bad that I gave the entire storyline of what's been happening on episode 1 to fucking Review Tech USA. Because I'm so thirsty to talk to someone. I'm that big of a fucking loser. Make that video, you piece of shit.
I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nicholas Fiorio. I don't know how to pronounce
He
it.
actually went and did it. What a fucking idiot, man. This is how desperate. Like, imagine. This is such a huge fall from grace. Imagine you're. Like, if you guys even know who Boogie 2988 is, he was a well respected individual back when back when YouTube was still a thing. He was well liked by everybody, but as people saw, the mask started to slip whenever he would go and do his live streams. He gave off this persona as trying to be a well liked and well received individual, but when it really came down to it, the dude's a fucking narcissist. He feeds off of negative attention no matter how bad it gets for him, because to him all attention is good attention. But he is so egotistical. He is so like there's a lot of shit wrong with this guy. But for him to go and actually follow through with this shit is just, it's beyond sad and pathetic, really. It really is. Imagine being at the height of your career, being, you know, like, what more could you want? But this guy just fucked everything up, and it was all his doing. Nobody else is doing but his. It was all Boogie. And he's reaping what he sows. It's a sad and unfortunate truth, but I mean, that's what happens to a narcissist.
I'm sorry, Jordy.
And to be fair, I don't feel sorry for Boogie at all. I don't feel sad for him. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't really give a shit. But just to be able to see this shit and see how desperate he is and how far he's willing to go to try to save him, to try to paint himself in a positive light is just really fucking sad. It's beyond sad. It's beyond pathetic too.
I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show and give away the fucking storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left the moment Muta came on. I'm fucking stupid. And I'm fucking sorry. I understand your decision. I'll hand over any passwords you need, wherever you want. Sorry.
I just want all of us on the same page, all right? A couple days ago, Boogie's sitting here fucking getting milked by just random people, by Muta, by everybody. And he's giving his response to drama for free on Twitter, just spamming it everywhere. And I say, Boogie, look, all right, no more of that, all right? You want to address drama? You want to address what some people are saying? Some controversy that's going on with Boogie 298? You do it on the podcast. You do it on the podcast where you actually can monetize it and get fucking paid. Boogie goes to me, that's a smart idea. That's a really smart idea. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's fucking common sense. There's no intelligence to that whatsoever. A 5th grader could figure that out, right? But you at fucking age 54 haven't figured that out, and you get milked by the fucking most random of person ever. Could just go in and fucking milk you, get you all riled up, get you spamming 17 fucking tweets for free, or teats, really, that's what they're called on a fucking cow, because you get milked, you fucking dumb, retarded piece of shit. Anyhow, after that life lesson that I gave you, right? I find out in another chat that you're going into Rich's stream. Review Tech USA. He's going in there. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Boogie's going to go in there and spill all the tea, the beef between him and Muta. He's going to give it to Rich for free. So I hit you up and I tell you, don't do this. And you promise me that you're not going to do it. As soon as you get in there, Rich starts milking you, starts saying, whoa, I don't understand. Why didn't you pay off your house? Your stupid ass falls for the bait. Yeah, because I was going to kill myself and I was going to do this and I was going to do that. So I didn't need to pay for a house. If dead people don't need houses. Why is that on Rich's stream? I want the soundbite on your podcast. It should be on your podcast, not on Rich's stream. Then Muta calls in, all right, which again, I'm mad at Muta too, but I can't be too mad because he doesn't own this podcast. Boogie, you own it.
When you're right, you're right. I shouldn't have went on Rich's thing. And I definitely should have left when Muta came on. And I shouldn't have been talking about any of that shit.
Yeah, and he's just repeating himself, but he doesn't really give a shit. He doesn't fucking care. If he had a single brain cell, any form of logical thinking, any form of critical thinking, he wouldn't have done it. But because he is so starved for any kind of attention, like I said, he doesn't care if it's positive or negative or whatever the fuck. He does not give a shit. He craves that attention. And Fensitter2988 over here will go 1 minute, spilling everything, being the most idiotic person in the world, to the next minute backtracking and trying to make himself, oh yeah, it was a mistake. It was an honest mistake. I'm not really this stupid. I'm not this much of a retard. No. Boogie is just, there's no saving Boogie or Wings or any of these other lolcows, because they know what they're doing. There is no way in hell none of these guys know what they're doing when it comes to making these stupid ass decisions. No fucking way. Unless, of course, you just don't give a shit, which obviously Boogie does not. I'm sorry, Steven does not. Steven doesn't give a shit. He never did, he never will, and no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how many chances you give him, he's gonna find a way to fuck it all up. Like, same thing with Wings, right? Wings and Boogie have literally had shit handed to them to improve their life, to better themselves, to be somebody better, to get themselves out of being a fucking lolcow. But instead, they just conform to it. They don't care. They never cared. They don't give a shit. Imagine being 54 years old and not even being able to logically think for yourself. And when you get caught doing stupid shit, you backtrack and you try to play the victim. Aye.
You're right. Mike wants me to promote this doc. I went on to promote the doc. I thought I could also promote the live stream. But you're right. I'm an easily manipulated asshole. So, I fucked up.
We also have some DMs between Boogie and Keem that took place during and after Boogie's appearance on Review Tech USA's live stream. His name is Rich, so that's what Keem is referring to in this DM, where he says, Boogie, you only talk about drama on the podcast. Don't give this to Rich. Boogie responds, well, I'll just pop in and say hi. No drama. I don't even know what he wants to talk about. Keemstar says, Boogie, he's milking you aboard. Boogie, leave now! God damn it! Why the fuck are you giving this all to Rich? The entire first episode of the podcast is ruined. Why are you doing this? Why? Boogie, you were kicked off the show. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck! I fucking hate you! Boogie responds, yeah, I respect that. Keemstar says, do you need attention that much that you just give away our entire...
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget Boogie, with his fucking new teeth. Yeah, I respect that. He got new teeth and he's got a fucking underbite. Like, I don't know. Boogie's just been a weird ass fucking individual altogether, but my goodness. He is beyond pathetic. All these lolcows are beyond pathetic. Instead of taking the time to actively want to improve themselves, their way of living, their, you know, to better their audience and not have people constantly just posting videos about all the negative shit that goes on in their life, they just they can't seem to get their heads out of their asses and actually put in the work to better themselves. They'd rather sit there and just let all this shit happen. Like, I don't know. I figured that something would have had to happen in order for a light in their heads to go off and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe being a lolcow isn't the best way to gain reputation for people. Maybe it is time for me to actually change myself for the better. Not for anybody else, but for me. But they don't. They don't give a shit. They never have. They never will. And like I said, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how many chances you give these fuckers, they're never going to change. Never. Never, ever, ever. A perfect example of this, right? Wings and Wings and Redemption. Wings and Boogie. I'm sorry. Jordy Jordan and Steven Williams went so far as to get a gastric bypass surgery in an effort to lose weight. And after getting that, after going through the whole process and doing all that shit, you'd think, you'd figure that after they do that, they'd start doing things to improve their their life, eating better, exercising a little bit more every now and then, actually putting in the work to not only feel better but be better. And I mean, Wings literally thought that he didn't have to do a single thing and he would still lose weight. That's how fucking stupid Wings is with his 62 IQ. He didn't think that he had to change his eating habits. He didn't think that he had to stop drinking sodas. He didn't think that he had to move a little bit more than what he usually does, which I believe is to get up and go to the restroom to take a shit or go walk into the fridge and get himself something. Well, actually, no, never mind. He doesn't even go to the fridge anymore. He just gets DoorDash delivered to him. So it baffles me that people are still trying to support these guys when they've clearly shown time and time again that no matter how many chances you give them for them to better themselves, right? And it should be just for themselves. It shouldn't be for anybody else. But you can give these guys so many opportunities, so many chances, so many different ways for them to be better, for them to for them to, you know, yeah, be better. And they would rather just throw it all in, take whatever you give them, they crumble it up, chew it up, and spit it right back in your face tenfold. How sad is that? And it's crazy because both Wings and Boogie had people in their life back then that actually gave a shit, that actually tried to go out of their own way, that put in their own personal time to try to help them improve themselves. And all these fuckers did throughout the years was completely disregard all of that and just feed into the negativity. How sad is that? When people go and they, talk shit on Wings or whatever, his usual response to that is, "Oh, I'm married, buddy. Let me just set the record straight for you, Wings, okay? Your wife does not love you. She does not give a shit about you. The only reason you married Kelly, or your wife, was so you can get health insurance, which, why would you even want that or care about that when you don't even care about yourself? It's just baffling to me. And then he goes and, he tries to use his quote unquote past accomplishments to try to one up people. But when you really take a look at how who Wings of Redemption is as a person and how many chances he's gotten in life to be a better person, to improve their quality of life, and all they do is sit around and do the same exact thing over and over again, expecting things to change, I guess. And even when positive changes, or I'm sorry, even when positive opportunities do come their way and do present themselves, they just throw it away. They throw it away and they completely disregard everything for one reason or another. But it's mainly because they don't care. They never cared. They don't give a shit about themselves. So why should people go out of their way to help these guys when they have shown time and time again that they don't care? They do not give a single fuck. See, here it says, Keem says, do you really need attention that much that you just gave away our entire fucking second episode? Shoot yourself in the face with a Nerf gun. God, I fucking hate you. Keem, chill. Chill, Keem. It was just an honest mistake. Oh, sorry. I had to do the underbite thing. Chill, Keem. Chill. It was just an honest mistake, really. I swear.
Second episode? Fucking shoot yourself in the face and end it right now. God, I fucking hate you. Literally the easiest task in the world. You're retarded too, Nick. You don't care if the show fucking succeeds or not. You just want to see the fucking tea, and you got it tonight early. Fuck you. Boogie responds, well, I had no clue Muda was gonna...
Oh, here we go. Well, I went there to promote the show. I had no idea Muda was gonna come and show his ass, but I respect your decision, Keem. In retrospect, I should have left when your boy decided to pull his shit, but whatever. But you didn't. You didn't. Once you saw Muda come in, you should have left, but you didn't. Because you crave that negativity. Because you crave that attention, no matter where you get it from, you crave it. And in retrospect, it just makes you look even worse than you already are. It makes you even more I didn't think that you could be more pathetic than you already are, Steven, but yeah, here we are. Here we are.
Come and show his ass.
And this is all you're doing.
In retrospect, I should have left when your boy decided to pull his shit, but whatever. Be well and good luck with the show. Keemstar responds, fuck you, retard.
Roger.
Says, Roger. So while this DM conversation was happening between Boogie and Keem, this is what was going on at the same time.
Oh boy.
I'm so sorry. I'm done with some shit. Read your tweet again, if you don't mind.
When you tell people a girl you meet.
See, and then Boogie likes to play the victim, and he claims that he doesn't have money for all this stuff. He doesn't have money to support himself. Bitch, sell all that shit you have in the fucking background. Sell all of that stuff. Do you know how much money you'd make from all this shit that has your name on it? I mean, it's probably not going to be worth anything anymore, but you would have easily been able to sell off everything that you have back there and at least try to make some kind of profit. Sign all that shit and then sell it off to somebody desperate enough who's willing to even buy your crap. But so and then you still have people like, we love Boogie. I hope these guys have fucking detective coats, because yeah, they're digging. We love you, Boogie. He said he would never publicly defame a person. Or shit like that. Like, he defamed Boggy's girlfriend.
Yeah, but I didn't, and that's what's important. You said that I said it.
Okay, so then...
You said that I said it. You said that I said it. You said
Boogie's the man, and he's
that.
tanking all of the interstates. Hate enough putting him down and letting him all lawfully...
Hey, locale chat... sorry,
Why do you
locale
work
live
with the
stream.
guy that just slandered you? What the fuck? You're such a bitch.
I'm a forgiving guy, man.
I'm a forgiving guy.
Keemstar's gonna make me money. I'm just here to make money. Well, anyway, Keemstar's asking me to save it for the locale podcast. I'm gonna save it for the locale podcast.
And that comment of Muda calling Boogie a bitch aged
Yeah,
like
he is a bitch.
fine wine, considering that not even an hour after that, Boogie was literally on his hands and knees begging for forgiveness from Keemstar, who a couple minutes prior just told him to kill himself. But as pathetic as Boogie is acting in this situation, Keemstar is not off the hook either, as I think everyone can agree that Keemstar's reaction to Boogie going on Rich's stream was way over the top and pretty unjustified,
Yeah,
considering
it
that
was.
the LolCow podcast never even planned to have a confrontation between Boogie and Muda directly, as the format is Boogie doing a podcast with Wings and Tommy, and then Muda reacting to it after the fact with Nicholas Diorio and Turkey Tom. So the confrontation that happened on Rich's stream is something we never would have gotten with the LolCow podcast anyways. As for the logic behind people not watching the LolCow podcast because the confrontation happened on Rich's stream, I think it's kind of flawed because Rich's podcast was just one instance of Boogie talking about drama, and more drama is undoubtedly going to happen with him in the future, so if anyone wants to see that consistent output of Boogie's take on his
It's
own
still,
drama,
like I
that's
said,
going
it's
to
still
be the
surprising to
LolCow
me how
podcast,
these
which was
lolcows
heavily
have
promoted
any
by
form of
Boogie
people
during that
behind them
live
supporting
stream.
them in their
By the
shitty
way,
ways.
I'm not even supposed to talk about this stuff here. You gotta go to the LolCow podcast. You want to hear shit like this? Go follow the LolCow podcast. You'll be
Yeah,
really
he's
glad
just
you
talking
did.
about it.
Everybody, go right now to the LolCow.
All right, you know, let's watch this. Let's see what this is about. Let's see
Hello,
Muda's
guys and
perspective
gals,
on
me,
this.
Mudahar, and let's talk about micro celebrities on YouTube. Okay, one of my biggest inspirations were people like Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic. You know, people that would produce relatively high quality videos for their time, still to this day, and they would review video games, movies, and whatnot. See, these guys were from a time almost 20 years ago at this point. Okay, not 20 years ago, but 10 to 20. Okay, almost 2 decades. And these were some of the first people on the internet as micro celebrities. See, back in the day, it was kind of baffling to think that you could upload videos on the internet and make money out of them and sustain a living, let alone an entire business, even in some people's cases. Obviously, YouTube has evolved to the point where some of the biggest celebrities in the world are starting to come from here or TikTok or other places. People that are known internationally by millions, if not billions. But of course, Boogie2988 was one of those people that was there in the beginning. Now, everyone falls off the internet. It's not uncommon. You know, I think being lucky enough to do this in the first place is already the reward. Obviously, nobody's a Simpsons or Family Guy and lasts forever. But Boogie is one of those cases where not only has he fallen off, but he's cratered to the center of the goddamn planet. And it's all because Boogie himself is a liar, Boogie himself is a manipulator, and he's somebody that I think is probably one of the most awful peoples on this platform. And the reason why I'm saying it is because Boogie has had a history of contradictions, of lies, of manipulating his fans into thinking that he's this broke, financially crippled individual, when in reality, he's just too scared of giving up the life of luxury that he currently still clings on to, just so that he can hold on just a little bit longer. And we'll actually come in through a lot of contradictions through this video. It's going to be long, so sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and talk about it. One of the reasons why I'm even talking about it too is because Boogie's the kind of guy that during discussions, he'll just start messaging my wife, which absolutely still disgusts me to this day. For the last 48 hours, I've still been pretty mad about that, but we'll get to all that in a little bit. One of the catalysts for this is something that Boogie is promoting, his own documentary, The Dark Sad Life of Boogie2988, which is not on his channel, it's on a channel from somebody known as Mike Klum, who has produced this 55-minute documentary pretty much putting Boogie in front of the world, in front of the actual normal audience, and showing that he is somebody that doesn't want to be helped, he just wants to be a professional goddamn victim. So let's actually look through a few highlights of this documentary, and I'll build upon things that I feel need further context. Now, Boogie has a history of financial problems on the platform, and he talks about how he actually only has $2,700 left in his bank account, and his actual mortgage on his home is currently at $183,000, according to when this documentary was filmed. Now, obviously, I'm kind of surprised. I think Boogie should have been able to pay off a $250,000 mortgage, from what I understand, his $250,000 crib.
Hey, my name is Boogie2988, and this is my $250,000 home.
How he hasn't been able to do that after the amount of money that he's earned on the platform is beyond me. Now, Boogie will say that he didn't really earn.
Yeah, because he would rather go and spend his money on hookers, on escorts. But here, I've already seen that bit, so let's watch this one here.
Hello, everybody. Richard Review Tech USA here, and last night on RTU Streams, I had a stream. What's funny is I wasn't even gonna stream last night, but I decided to, and we watched some Ordinary Gamers, or Mudahar's video, called Boogie2988 is Completely Pathetic. Now, I don't know how it transpired. I don't know if people were baiting Boogie to come on the show, or he said he wanted to come on the show. Needless to say, it doesn't matter. I sent him a Zoom link, and he came on, and we started discussing things about his documentary that just came out. And then, I don't know how this transpired, because it was all a blur, because I was more stoned than I've been in over 6 months. Mudahar came in. Now, again, I don't know if he was baited to come in, or he wanted to come in, but needless to say, I sent him a Zoom link. And then Keemstar showed up in the chat and wanted Boogie to leave because he said I was milking this, and there was milk all over the place and udders were squeezed. It was absolutely insane. So here is everything that went down in my live stream last night with Mudahar and Boogie there. And buckle up because it was a hell of a show. Also, shout
All right, lads, we're back. Sorry for taking so long. Hope you guys are ready. Let's do this shit.
The dye will drip on his desk, and if the dye drips on his desk, then he'll have a mess on his desk, and then he said
What?
I'll have to come up there and clean his desk.
What?
So there's your shout out that you're forcing me to do.
Mm.
Enjoy the chaos. I can hear you now, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I can't talk too long. I'm over here on Twitch at the moment.
Okay.
I'm live streaming Super Mario Wonder. Feels good to be playing video games again for a change. On live stream, you know? Normally I just like sit around and bitch about stuff. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing well. What's going on? What
not
brought you
much
on today.
Not much. Somebody asked me, said that you wanted me on here, so I thought I'd come say hi.
Yeah.
Did you watch the doc? What'd you think?
It's interesting. What was your incentive for putting something out so damning about yourself?
There's a lot of different answers to that. I think I didn't get paid anything, though I did get paid $2,000 to travel up to Cleveland to take some photos and stuff to promote the thing. But I didn't get like paid to do anything. My thought process on it was everyone has like this mystique about me. They think that I'm like this guy or that guy or whatever. I don't mind admitting what I've actually done. I don't mind admitting that I lost a shitload of money on crypto. I don't mind admitting that I spent a lot of money traveling the coast to coast and spend money on girls. I don't mind admitting that stuff about me. I'm very open about that, and I'm comfortable with it. It's the stuff that people think is bullshit about me, right? Like, oh, he's abusive to women, and he did this, and he did that. I didn't do any of that shit, you know? So I thought...
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
Let's make it a piece of art. Let's make YouTube history.
His ex-wife, he emotionally manipulated and emotionally abused her. So, I don't know why he keeps trying to say that he has never done that. You're a fucking liar, Boogie. You're a terrible fucking liar.
And then there's a quote from Game of Thrones, right?
Let me ask you a question. 2018 definitely wasn't your peak year, and you almost made, before taxes, obviously, $500,000. You've had bigger years than that. Where the hell did
No, that was my peak. What are you? Are you insane? No, that was the most I ever made ever, and it's only because of sponsors. You realize 90% of the Francis videos either got no ads or very low quality ads. You know that, right?
Yeah, but that's a different era, dude. Like,
no, that's the entire time from the first Francis character all the way up to the very end. Those videos either got fully demonetized or they got the lowest common denominator ads. And so Francis videos getting millions of views, I made maybe $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on each of those. In some cases, I spent more breaking an Xbox or breaking a TV than I made for the Francis sketches. Yeah, the real money was in sponsorships, and I had a bunch of sponsorships in 2018. And
but that's post-adpocalypse. Even pre-adpocalypse, you can't tell me that you were making bank because you were getting.
Do you want to know how much money I made through AdSense from the beginning of time to now?
Sure.
About $1.2 million since 2007. About 1.2 is it's less than 1.6. I know that. It might be less than 1.5. I think it's 1.2, 1.3 million. Is what I made across 17 years.
That makes no sense. Yeah, I don't believe it.
Well, I'll send you a screenshot right now if you want to see it. I don't really care. I've always been very open about this.
I mean, you made half of that in one year?
No, ad revenue that year was probably 1,500 or 150,000. It was all sponsorships, which is why when people like did that organized letter writing campaign to get rid of all my sponsors, they killed me. They killed me. That ended me.
When you made that much money, did you not pay off your house?
Well, dead people don't live in houses, right? And so why pay off a house if you don't plan to live? Right? If you're going to blow your brains out, if you're going to swallow a bunch of pills, why would you pay off your house? Blow the money and then blow your brains out.
But you seem to keep going to that for all of your bad financial decisions.
Well, that's because of all my bad financial decisions. That's why I made them. I wouldn't have made them otherwise. Why else would I have made them? What would be the reasoning behind it? If you're going to live, you should keep your money for retirement. If you don't plan to live, you should spend it. That seems pretty obvious.
But you are in your situation, and it is people. Here's the thing that my main issue is that you put out this documentary that is exposing everything about you, but you seem annoyed when people have opinions about a documentary where you want them to have opinions.
What,
and
what have I been annoyed? What have I been annoyed by?
On Twitter, I've seen you not be very happy.
No, not at all. People are entitled. Yeah, 1.3 million. I can send you a screenshot right now if you want to see it. But that said, 1.3 million is a tremendous amount of money. I should still have money left. If I hadn't made stupid money decisions, I would have still had it. But no, I'm not annoyed with anybody who's mad about the documentary. You should be.
Holy shit! We even have Keemstar. What the fuck is going on? I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. We got Keemstar here. We got Bill Gates here.
Is Bill Gates here? I like Bill Gates. Give me money. Anyway, by the way, I'm not even supposed to talk about this stuff here. You gotta go to the Locale podcast. You want to hear shit like this? We just recorded our first episode. Go follow it here on YouTube. Go follow it on Twitter. It's fucking insane. I go off for 20 minutes about my situation with Mudahar. Mudahar just made a video about me today. Go follow the Locale podcast. You'll be really glad you did.
But video. What the but Boogie, do you realize, man, even with the corner that you backed yourself in, you could live stream and be okay, dude.
I'm literally doing it right now.
There you go.
I'm literally doing it right now.
But I have to ask you a tough question.
Sure.
Can you psychologically handle the live streaming?
I don't know. Time will tell. I'm in probably the best mental health state that I've been in a really long time, which is to say not great still. But it's the best I've really been in. And I'm at peace with everything. I'm at peace with the polycythemia. I'm at peace with the girlfriend. I'm at peace with my body. I'm at peace with my mind. I'm at peace with my financial situation. And it's a good place to be, I think.
Then if you could handle it, then you'll be okay. Because that's where, you could do all right. But
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm doing all right on YouTube, I'll tell you, since these view numbers are up. But I don't think they'll stay up. But I started talking about some video games and stuff. And people seem to really like me doing commentary again. And I'm enjoying doing commentary again. Go follow me on YouTube if you haven't seen my commentary videos in a while. I think you'll like what I'm doing over there.
Do it.
Yeah, go follow me on Twitch. You might like what I'm doing there.
Go consistently do it. And you know what, man? Be more positive again. Don't be a misery merchant.
I mean, that's. Do you hear me being a misery merchant tonight? I'm happy as a pig and shit. I'm glad to talk to you, Rich. I haven't talked to you in years.
You sound. There's a different tone to your voice though, and I'm trying to. And Keemstar, you could tongue twist my asshole. I'm not milking him. You could come milk my nipples. Jesus Christ! Stop milking. Listen, milk my butt cheeks.
Everybody, go right now to the Locale podcast.
Very surprising too how even Rich is trying to play off the whole I'm not milking him, I'm not doing any of that. Yet you're letting him just say all this shit. You know what you're doing too. I mean, come on now.
It's Locale Live on YouTube, Locale Live on Twitch, Locale Live on Instagram. Here's what you're going to get if you follow that, okay? You're going to see me and Jordy and Tommy C arguing every week. I mean, I basically screamed at Tommy C, and he screamed at me in this last episode, okay? And then on top of that, you're going to get to see Keemstar, who is pretty good at roasting people, Mudahar, who abjectly despises me. I'm telling you, if I was on Mudahar's front porch on fire right now, he wouldn't piss on me to put me out. That's how much he dislikes me. And you're going to get to see Nicholas Diorio, as well as other guests, come on to that show and
not surprising because everybody pretty much hates you, Boogie. Quit trying to make it seem like just one person hates you. No. Everybody hates you. Nobody likes a narcissist. Nobody likes an emotional manipulator. Nobody likes a compulsive liar. Nobody likes an individual who just talks so much shit about what they're going to do and never follows through with their actions. Nobody likes any of that. So for you to say that, or for you to try to say it as if Mudahar is the only person that doesn't like you or that objectively hates you, no. There are plenty of people out there who hate you because of who you are as an individual. Steven. Come on, let's not be coy here.
Roast the living out of us to our face. It's a good time. I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
I'm actually excited about the show because I get to I get to let go.
Look, my
How much he dislikes me.
I think Boogie should have been able to pay off.
Tommy C arguing every week. I mean, I basically screamed at Tommy C, and he screamed at me in this last episode, okay? And then on top of that, you're going to get to see Keemstar, who is pretty good at roasting people, Mudahar, who abjectly despises me. I'm telling you, if I was on Mudahar's front porch on fire right now, he wouldn't piss on me to put me out. That's how much he dislikes me. And you're going to get to see Nicholas Diorio, as well as other guests, come onto that show and roast the living out of us to our face. It's a good time. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually excited about the show because I get to I get to let go, man. I get to just scream at Tommy C. I get to scream at Jordy. I get to have a good time. That's one of the cool things about this documentary, Rich, is it's like they said in Game of Thrones, right? Wear what you are on your sleeve, and wear it as armor, and they can never use it against you. I am a guy who wasted his money. I'm a guy who did a bunch of stupid shit, and it's in the past, and I'm just trying not to do it anymore.
You could keep on bringing up, look, and I'm not trying to downplay being suicidal, but I was saying earlier in the stream, you could have at least paid off the damn house and then in that home.
But dead people don't live in houses, Rich, and I didn't have enough to pay off the house.
But you're still, which I'm glad, but you're still here.
Yeah, well, I mean, mistakes happen. I've made worse mistakes than wasting this money. Look what I did to my body. That's infinitely worse than wasting $500,000. You know?
Keemstar, I swear to God, I am going to put on one of those where the women have the nipples and I'm going to put milk in them, and then I'm going to breastfeed you. I'm not milking. I heard Boogie wanted a link, and I gave Boogie a link.
Oh, I didn't ask for the link. Somebody said you wanted me to come in here, so I thought I would.
Oh, we both had. Oh, we both got mine then.
Did you have Mike Klum on? You really should. He's a really fun guy to talk to.
I did have Mike Klum on.
Yeah,
yes.
I was about to say you do your show. He likes you. He's a good fan.
So he came on. So listen, man. Just my final statement to you is just be entertaining.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. We've had really entertaining streams in the past, haven't we? Let's do it again.
Yes, we have. Let's do one again.
You still sound like you're in shell shock, which I understand. I respect that. Watching this thing has been emotional for me. It's been emotional for everybody. It's emotional for Mike, who made the thing. So I get it. I respect it. I understand. But when you're feeling less emotional about it and you want to just hang out and have some fun, let's do that.
And yes, let's do it.
And now everybody leave Rich's stream and go follow me on Twitch right now and watch me play Mario. I need the money way worse than Rich does.
I'm too stoned to think of anything witty.
Oh shit! Are you stoned right now?
Oh, I'm high as hell.
What are you on?
This is, I'm just medical marijuana. I have
that
like
shit
the breath
amazing,
spray.
Dude?
And the spray you got to be careful with because it could you'll be like completely sober and then 10 seconds later it drop kicks you in the balls, and that's where I'm at right now.
I'm all about the edibles, man. My girlfriend has really severe social anxiety. She does really well with it, though, these days. And the way that she does so well with it is medical marijuana. And so she's pretty consistently, if we have to go somewhere, if we have to do something, we have to film, she gets high first. And boy, it's a wonder drug. It's a wonder drug. The difference between her on her medical marijuana and her not, it's night and day. It's night and day. It's beautiful. It's a wonder drug.
Yes, audience, I would let Muda on.
It's a wonder drug, he says.
Yeah, I mean, if Muda wants to, is Muda around? Hi, Muda.
Yeah, believe me, I just want to let it be known if he wants to come on, I am not stonewalling that.
Yeah, if Muda's around, he's welcome to do whatever he wants to do, man.
Oh.
I mean, at the end of the day, I said this on the Locale podcast. You'll have to wait to hear it there, but I said all my grievances with Muda. I have no grievances, and apparently Muda said his grievances on a YouTube video tonight, and I guess hopefully we're in a good place after that. But I mean, as good as a place can be when a guy openly hates you, That guy openly fucking hates me, which honestly, I don't entirely blame him, But you want to hear my point?
Honestly, I don't entirely blame him. He's still so surprised that Mudahar hates him. Like, buddy, Boogie, does your one brain cell, can it not compute that people do not like narcissistic assholes, emotionally abusive, manipulative people. People that lie, people that cheat, people that steal. Do you not seem to comprehend that, or are you just that fucking stupid? I mean, of course he is. I mean, what am I even saying? Of course Boogie's stupid. Of course he's a fucking idiot. Why am I trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here? Like, come on. Anyway, let's keep going.
Point of view of it, you got to listen to the locale podcasts.
What? You say that, though, it sounds like you're disingenuous when you say that, to be honest with you.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, you're angry that he had this video out about you. I could hear it.
No, not at all. I knew it was coming. He even gave me a warning that it was coming. I pretty obvious last couple of conversations we had that this was coming.
0 contributions.
And we obviously put a documentary out there for people to react to. Me and Mike have said, if you want to react to it, watch the entire thing. Watch it on your live streams, watch it on your YouTube videos, watch it, whatever you want to do. That's why it's out there.
Not ever. He is what happens when Alex Jones becomes a conspiracy theorist and he's on hellish shrooms.
I admitted to some really stupid shit.
Stories for days.
We have, Mudahar is here. He said, Muda, can I send you a link? I am failing worse than Leafy did right now when he was trying to be a moderator because I'm stoned as hell. And all right, I'll get you the invite. I am not equipped right now to handle this. I am just being honest. This is a f***ing shit
Oh
show.
boy, here we go, lads.
I'm here for it, but I feel like when
I'm trying to play Mario at the same time, so it's a little complicated. By the way, hold on, let me do a little shout outs on my stream.
I may need to fucking call Jane. Listen, holy.
What's up, Lando Commandy? Lando Commandy?
As I'm getting shirtless to be the professional that I am. So you did not give a heads up, or Muda didn't give you a heads up, Boogie, because you blocked him, apparently.
Yeah,
wait, how could you say that I gave you a heads up? That doesn't make any sense.
Because you've been mad at me for like a week. I knew it had to be coming.
I'm not mad at you.
What?
We're just like disgusted with my behavior.
To be mad at you would mean that you would have to like matter to me personally.
Well, that's true.
I don't get mad at you. I can't.
Right.
I don't have the time. It's just like I think you're a compulsive liar. Is sort of the.
I respect that. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
you know, I respect that. I respect that you think I'm a compulsive liar, but I'm not. You know, I'm not. That's how fucking stupid Boogie sounds right now. I mean, he's always sounded stupid as hell, but you know what I mean. He's like, no, I understand. I respect that you think I'm a compulsive liar, but I'm not. It's so sad and pathetic, dude.
Definitely been an unreliable witness.
How can you say you respect that? Like, this is the thing that I don't get. Like, you respect that somebody believes you're a compulsive liar.
That's a very respectful. That's very respectful.
That's not
respectful.
That's not respectful. Like, you should be learning to better yourself instead of just saying, "Oh, that's respectful." What are you doing?
What I'm saying is, I have lied in the past. I'm doing my best to not lie.
But you literally okay. So you've lied in the past. What have you done very recently? Because like in the last few months, you literally like blatantly lied. Like that whole boxing fight thing. It's funny because catching you in a lie is the easiest thing in the entire world. What is the lie about
the boxing?
Yeah, see, there you go. he said Boogie claims that what he is doing is that he's trying not to lie anymore. That he's been trying so hard, but yet he still does it. He doesn't put any effort into wanting to stop himself from lying because he knows that he can't. And even Mudahar's calling him out on this shit. He's like, bro, you lie so fucking much about everything. It's so easy to catch you whenever you do lie. And Boogie's like, oh no. What do you mean? Could you elaborate more on that? Like, what do you mean it's so easy to catch me lying? Like, what? How can you even say that? You know. Yeah. Just listening to Boogie talk is just so irritating. You know, given the kind of person that he is, but let's keep going.
Fight
you said that you had $1,500 in boxing, like to pay for boxing.
Oh no,
lessons.
Mike Klum said on my live stream he fudged those numbers. He didn't get those numbers from me. He'll openly tell you.
And so hold on. You watched this documentary before it came out in its entirety, and we're okay with that then?
I didn't pay attention to the numbers like most of the text. Like, for example, he said that I was on a drug that I'm not on. Apparently, one of the drugs he wrote the name of. I'm on like a muscle relaxer called bupropion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote like bupropion, which is a drug people take to recover from opiate addiction. Oh, thank you, baby.
So now you're implying that the documenter that you worked with is a liar. So
No,
that brings up his
I'm
brings
just
his
saying
entirety into that brings his entire like integrity in the future of his channel.
No,
into
I'm
question.
just saying that he made a couple of mistakes when it came to the numbers, and made a couple of mistakes when it came to the text.
Before that documentary came out, why didn't you call him up and say, "Hey, can you fix that mistake? It's pretty fucked up."
Because I didn't.
Because it is pretty fucked up.
I didn't really read any.
Yeah, because I didn't catch
it's
it.
Not something I was paying
kind
a
of
lot of attention to. We watched it together on.
And the funniest thing is, it's not even the text, by the way, too. You said it in the documentary. You talked about the boxing training, didn't you?
Oh no, I know. I did spend more money than I got paid. It's just not that particular way. I could break it down for if you want to know.
Okay, but in that clip, Rich, can you put that clip on again where he's discussing his like boxing match, like his the $10,000 and like all the expenses he got? We're all here, so we might as well just watch it together.
Yeah.
Where do you know the point it's in your video? Also, Boogie, do you still have 30-something thousand in crypto right now?
I did at the beginning of the year. I've got crypto's up right now, so I'm up to about 9. But about last week I had about 6.7. I got about.
I don't understand why you don't cash that out.
Because you only take the loss when you sell it, and like I guess the $6,000 could disappear tomorrow, but that's not really gonna make or break me. But if it goes up, I could definitely use the money. You know, if it goes down 1,000, it's probably not going to make a huge difference.
But do you understand
if it goes
how
up 1,000,
wild that is? Like, you're complaining about money, and how much is it worth right now in asset-wise, like according to your app?
About 9,000 or so.
Yeah, and he's too afraid to pull it out right now. $9,000 he's afraid to cash out.
I cash it out as I need it. So at the beginning of December, I'll pull out 2,000 and pay my mortgage. It's like a savings account. I just treat it like a savings account. Except this savings account makes me money sometimes.
It's not a savings account because it's literally the most negatively volatile asset you have.
I don't know. It's held really steady for the last 2 years.
Yeah, because it lost 99% of its fucking value.
Right,
so how low can it go?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
What do you mean?
That's why I leave it in there. How low can it go? That's exactly my point.
Why wouldn't you put that in?
Take that money out and maybe put it into like index funds or
well,
like
if
move
I
that
take
shit
it
around?
Well, no, I'm going to need it in the.
See, this goes to show you just how fucking stupid Boogie is. That no matter if you try to incite logic and reasoning for the guy who likes to cry wolf about how desperate he is for money, but yeah, he's sitting on $9,000 that he could easily pull off and help with paying his mortgage off. It just shows you how stupid he really is.
Like 60 days, roughly.
So here's what I don't understand. You have $750,000 and you just decide to put all of it into crypto when that money could have went into the S&P
No, I did not have
500?
$750,000. I had $250,000.
That's what literally the documentary that you were on
I understand.
said.
That's the most I had was 700,000. When I initially invested in crypto, I had 250,000.
So why did you let him write you lost $600,000 in crypto?
Because that's about how much I lost. My max amount was about 700,000. And so if I sold that day, I would have had 700,000.
The math doesn't make sense.
Well, the math should make sense. Well, let me walk you through it, okay? Now, let's imagine you have $250,000, okay, which is what I had. Now you invest it, okay? Now it goes up to $800,000, okay? Now if you sold it, then how much money would we have? $800,000, right? But I didn't. I sold it when it was considerably less than that.
So you're telling me you put $250,000 in, you made like 750,000. That was your peak, right? Like the asset that was valued.
Yep.
So why the wouldn't you cash it out then? Or you just like greedy? Was it literally like a gamble? Like it literally sounds like you were playing fucking roulette.
I mean, it was kind of like gambling, honestly, Moody. But I went to bed one night. I was invested in a small shit coin called, it was either Uni or, I don't know, Michael Green could tell you the other one. But one of them was Uni, one of them was, I don't know. But I went to bed and it lost 60% value overnight. I woke up the next morning and I sold what I had. But that didn't really matter because I lost. I went from about 700,000 back down to about 200,000.
I mean, this is just, I don't even like really, like, first off, the math is incredibly weird. I feel like
what's weird about that?
We'd probably like
250,000 doubles, and then and adds another 60%. It goes from 250,000 to 700,000. And then I went to bed, and the asset lost 80%, 90%. You know what a market crash is, I'm sure. And so the market crashed, and you know how your stocks are worth a certain amount at one point, and they're worth different at another. So I woke up the next day.
Yeah, I know how the stock market works. You're in the crypto market. This is a completely degenerate operation. But yeah.
Imagine Boogie trying to tell you how the fucking market works. Mutahar knows way more than Boogie ever will in his entire lifetime. That's fucking hilarious, dude. And you know, there you go. There's his egotistical complex coming out again, thinking that he knows everything, thinking that he's a smart cookie, that he's a smart individual, when he clearly isn't. It's like the equivalent of getting advice, like life advice or financial advice or even marriage advice from fucking Wings. I think Wings, talking about Wings, I think Wings' whole perspective that he thinks is like, yeah, I'm in a marriage, so I should know a lot about what it is to, properly, I should know what it is to have a happy marriage. Just shit like that, dude. It's fucking baffling to me. I mean, it's baffling to me as well. But that's the kind of mentality that these guys are dealing with, that Mutahar is dealing with, is that no matter what you say, no matter what kind of advice you try to give them, even if it's good advice, it's just like, it's literally talking to a brick wall that does not give a shit, that does not give a flying fuck what you have to say, and that what they say is right and you're wrong.
Well, I understand.
So hold on. You put in 250,000. You got up to 750. How much did it drop to?
About 200,000, 250,000 over.
And you didn't decide maybe I should cash out then? No, you let it go all the way down to 30 after that.
Well, I did. I did cash out then.
So
but
you cashed out $200,000?
Yeah. What do you think I've lived off of since 2000 or 2020? I've had to live off something.
So what was Mike showing in his documentary where you had 30,000 in assets still remaining in a crypto account?
Well, I put it back into Ethereum, which is a really safe investment. Ethereum and Bitcoin are really safe investments once they're at the bottom of the market.
Jesus Christ. Bitcoin and Ethereum are safe investments. So now you had $200,000. You couldn't put any of that money into like the index, the S&P 500, literally buy the average of a tech stock and like let that raise year after year. I mean, this isn't financial advice, by the way, but most financial advice is.
I could have, and that obviously would have been the smart thing to do.
Or maybe you could have put it into the house, because that's clearly a very safe, appreciating asset.
Yeah, one of the things I really regret. I mean, at this point, and I'm very lucky, and I've been open about this. This house says it's worth probably, and people pointed this out after the doc. I wasn't aware of this, but this house's value is closer to like $450,000. I paid $250. I owe about $150 on it. So theoretically, after closing costs, I could.
The math that you just told me makes it sound like you put in a value of money into cryptocurrency, it raised, and then you lost, but you cashed out roughly around the same value you put in. So it doesn't really sound like you lost $600,000 in crypto, then, right? It just sounds like you're gambling.
Again.
What's the valuation of your house right now, Boogie?
Well, like I just said, I've got about $150,000 left on the debt, and it looks like that I could sell it. Zillow tells me I could sell it for $450,000. So it looks like.
Forget Zillow for a second. Have you talked to a realtor or something too? This is the thing about like my video.
There yet.
This is the thing about the video. Why don't you like? Again, maybe there's like a sentimental thing to this house, but like if you can't afford the home, why don't you downsize to like an apartment or like a smaller property? Well,
unfortunately, if I want to stay near my doctors and I want to stay near my medical centers, I need to stay in Northwest Arkansas.
Okay, listen to what he said right there, okay? If he wants to stay near his doctors and whatever else he just said, he needs to stay in that area. Why don't you just sell off your fucking house and look for something cheaper? Downsize your way of living. No, he doesn't want to do that. he's you see what Mudahar has to deal with when it comes to these kind of people, just how illiterate they are when it comes to a lot of shit, a lot of real world shit. And Mudu keeps telling him like, bro, sell the shit that you have in the background, or whatever the fuck that is in the background that you have, all those arcade machines, all that shit that you don't fucking need, sell it off, or sell off your house, downsize, and live by live by your means, but don't. Yeah, yeah. It's just frustrating to listen to this shit, but I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm gonna let this video play out for a bit, and then I'm gonna be ending the stream for now. But later on tonight, I'll probably either do a watch party with Captain Kinky, or we'll probably get to play in some games, maybe some Blood Hunt or Apex. Who knows? I'm not entirely sure just yet, but I know me and him are going to be doing something later on tonight, so just stick around. And I will be putting up a advertisement on my social medias, like my Instagram and all that. So I'll let you guys, I'll be sure to remember to put up an advert. It'll just be just the Twitch link. Nothing crazy or nothing special or anything like that. Just so you guys know that I'm actually going to be live and I'll be streaming by that time. But yeah.
And Northwest Arkansas doesn't have any like apartments for you to go
They do.
get?
You can get apartments here for as cheap as $900 to $1,000. But then I would have to kick out one of my roommates who's very close and dear to me. We've lived together for 25 years. He's my best friend. He's like a brother to me. I don't want to lose him, so then we're going to have to pay more for a second bedroom.
So why don't you and him split the rent with each other?
I don't talk about that. He's got his personal life and he's other than just he's got his personal issues. And
I mean, but it sounds like you feel like you want to support this person, and it's great and all, but you can't afford to keep yourself afloat, and you can't. So how can you add on a dependent is the thing, right? That's a big problem.
I mean, at the end of the day, he does bring in, again, his life is personal. Let's leave his life personal. It's very important to me. It's very important to him that his life is personal. But
it's
say,
part of you. But it's
it's
part
a,
of
it's
your
a null
equation
sum.
that you're discussing right now.
He's currently a null sum game. I don't spend any money on him, and so you don't need to worry about it. If I had to move into a smaller apartment, though, I might have to and have to work something out. But if we can keep this house to $2,100 instead of paying $1,100 somewhere around here, I think it's nice to build equity rather than just give it all to a landlord. And also, renting in Arkansas sucks. You guys may not be aware of this, but
renting anywhere sucks.
Yeah, but especially in Arkansas. In fact, you can Google this. It is the worst state in the nation.
But just think about it like this, okay? You how much is your current like home mortgage? $2,200? $2,100? Okay, so $2,100 versus like $900. That is slashing your like that is slashing your housing costs by at least 50%.
And if and when the time comes, that's obviously something I'll do. But I'd rather
but here's the thing:
live stream more. I'd rather try to make more YouTube videos.
If you don't do it now,
more money.
Then you don't really have an option. You don't have that leeway in the future. That's the thing, right? Like this is like somebody who has $200,000 in the bank and no income, and they want to be adamant in living in their mansion in Los Angeles. Yeah, you can do that for like 4 or 5 months, but when that time comes to downsize, your options to downsize are incredibly difficult because you have no liquid assets to deal with.
So you may not know a lot about this, but the audience may not know about it. But I've learned about it a lot. I've had this loan for a long time, and so when you have a loan, you're building equity, and it's a 15-year loan. So a huge chunk of what I'm putting into the mortgage.
And yet you'd rather go and spend your money on women than paying off the mortgage of your house. You'd rather go and waste your money on bullshit instead of taking care of what should be taken care of in the first place. Pay off your mortgage, get all of that shit taken care of first, and then you can go fuck around and do whatever you want. I guess. Not necessarily, but that's the gist of it, right? Making sure that you take care of your actual priorities first before you go around being a fucking sugar daddy for people or for girls who only ever got with you for the sake of money.
Mortgage is mine to keep. And so once you sit down and do the math, it's way less of a savings than you're thinking. So if I can keep this house and keep building equity, it's my money to keep.
Okay, but how much is your house's value raising year after year, though? You live in Arkansas; it's not Los Angeles.
It went from 275 when I bought it in 2015 to 450 now. Northwest Arkansas is popping off. We have the home of Walmart, we have the home of Tyson, we have the home of JB Hunt, 3 of the largest companies of the world. There's 2,000 small businesses that want to do business with Walmart that have to keep an office open in Northwest Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson just moved 6, I think, I don't remember the number. I'm not going to quote it because I don't want to be wrong, but it's like several hundreds of jobs to Northwest Arkansas, which caused a huge spike. And a huge chunk of my money goes directly into equity because this loan is so matured at this point. So at the end of the day, I would rather keep the home as best I could, take care of the people that I can take care of, keep building equity. And I honestly think it puts me in a tightrope situation where it makes me stream more. It makes me make more YouTube videos. It makes me try harder.
See, I don't really see that. You've been on a tightrope situation for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but to him, it makes him do more YouTube videos. It makes him do more Twitch streaming, which nobody really gives a shit about anymore because it's all just him begging people for money or making extremely low quality content that nobody really gives a fuck about, except for those that just want to see the dumpster fire go on. So he's just trying to pull excuses out of his ass. And I mean, it's the same shit that fucking Wings does. They will come up with every single excuse that they possibly can under the sun to justify the fact that they won't go out and get a real job. Because, I mean, you know, the same thing could be said for Boogie, right? And Wings, and how Wings likes to brag about his whole YouTube, you know, career and his whole like legacy on YouTube. But when you really take a look at it from the outside looking in, like they use that as an excuse to justify their work gap, or the reasoning as to why they never went out and got themselves like even a part-time job, right? So long as you have some form of income, it'll help you out if you're smart with it. But Wings and Boogie will always try to find every single excuse that they can to justify their reasoning as to why they don't want to go out and work. Wings' favorite excuse is, oh, I have a bad knee. Oh, I have a 10-year work gap or whatever. But here's the thing, though, is that he used to work at a place that paid him a pretty substantial amount of money. Wings of Redemption. Boogie, I don't know. I really don't know. But like even then, even when he goes out and actually gets a whole interview and everything set up, this dude ends up fucking it up for himself so bad. He's just like, you know, you might look up my name and you might see some stuff that isn't true, like me beating my wife or me being an emotional manipulator or him being somebody who likes to prey on kids and shit like that. And it's like, who the fuck says that in a job interview? Right? Who the fuck goes around and says that shit in a fucking job interview? And the lady was the interviewer. I'm sorry, not the lady. The interviewer, or the recruiter. Sorry, the recruiter ended up catching on to how what kind of person Boogie is in reality. Is that he is the kind of person that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I won't do this, I won't do that. Just every single time he's been given an opportunity. Oh, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't. And the recruiter was like, yeah, you know, you tend to, like, if you're going to have that mentality when it comes to even doing something as simple as interviewing for a job, then good luck, because you're not going to get far at all. Because, you know, you have no confidence in yourself. And even if you don't know how to do this stuff, you can at least have an opportunity to learn something, to at least learn, or to want to learn. But they don't want to. They don't care. They would rather, Boogie and Wings would rather go around and paint themselves as victims for the rest of their lives than actually go out and put in any kind of effort to change themselves for the better, or to actually go out and get a real job. And it's like they can go and They can go around and say, oh, well, you know, YouTube is my real job. Or Twitch streaming is my real job. It's like, buddy, the shit that you produce, the shit that you come out with, fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's fucking garbage. I mean, hell, I would know. The shit that I put out on YouTube, the videos that I've made, are very low quality kind of videos. But you know what? I don't see it as my job. I don't see any of this shit as my job. I just see it as a way to, you know, to pass the time, a hobby. I don't take it seriously. But if I were to take it seriously, I would actually start putting an effort into creating content that I know people will want to watch. Right? But me, I don't care. I just like putting stuff out that I personally like. And you can take a look at my YouTube videos. It's all just random shit that I personally enjoy. Whether people like it or not is completely up to them. But I'm never forcing people to have to sit and watch through my content. Nor should they have to. Right? Everybody has their own unique taste on things. Or has their own unique tastes. But for these guys to go around and tell people that they should be donating money to them just because of who they are on YouTube or whatever, it just shows you how fucked in the head these guys are. It really does. And going back to going back to Wings for a little bit. You know, it's so funny that Wings likes to go around and insult people and call them neckbeards and all this other shit, all this like insulting shit, like calling them incels or whatever, when he himself is the literal walking definition of a neckbeard, of an incel, of somebody who doesn't give a flying fuck about their life, who doesn't give a shit about their life, who would rather go around and try to convince people that they're the victim, that everything that has gone bad for them is of no doing of their own. Instead, it's other people that have done it, right? Not them saying outlandish shit, not them saying some of the most creepiest things I've ever heard from people on YouTube, from popular individuals on YouTube, or once popular individuals on YouTube, from, you know, like they go from saying the craziest stuff that you would never expect anybody who has a big following to go out and say, and even then they don't care. But yet, you know, they say something really stupid or they say something outlandish and people pick up on that. They make clips and they make channels and they highlight the stuff that they said. And in return, they say that either people are taking it out of context or that people are just going out to make them, like, people are going out of their way to make Boogie and Wings look bad, when it's literally their fucking fault. They're the ones opening their mouths and saying this shit. Nobody's forcing them to say any of this stuff. They're doing it of their own free will. But they're just that fucking dumb that they can't seem to just shut the fuck up. And this is advice that people have been giving Boogie and Wings for a long ass time, is just shut the fuck up, get off the internet and do something else. Something worthwhile, something that you personally enjoy. But again, Wings and Boogie tend to enjoy doing this stuff, even if they like to go around and tell people or say every single time they stream that they're only doing it for the money, that they don't care, that they hate this. And it's like, buddy, if you hate doing this shit, then why continue doing it? It's just, it's really baffling to me, to be honest. It really is. But, I mean, that's what happens when you're a fucking narcissist and you don't give a shit, not even about your own, not even about yourself. Because let me tell you something, all right? Wings of Redemption, I'm pretty sure that by the end of this year, if not the beginning of next year, your wife is going to leave you. There's going to be a day where she wakes up and she realizes just how much of her life she has wasted trying to coddle you, trying to support you, trying to motivate you to actually get up off your ass and do something. I can't say the same for Boogie because, I mean, she's 19. She has no real world experience, I would assume. And he's just emotionally manipulating her. No matter how he wants to paint it, he is emotionally manipulating her. He even stated that they ended up being together because of trauma bonding. So he will use that to his advantage to just keep her around. He will say stuff like, "Oh yeah, I'm sad. Oh yeah, I'm pathetic. Oh yeah, I'm this, and that." And she'll start crying, she'll start bawling her eyes out and everything. But I really hope that that girl, both Wings's wife and Boogie's girlfriend end up waking up one day getting some real sense as to, is that the kind of life you guys really want to live? To have to constantly deal with somebody who does not give a shit about themselves. So what makes you guys think that they would even give a flying fuck about you? Why would you ever want to be with somebody like that? And like, especially, well, actually, no, I was gonna say, especially Boogie, but I mean, even Wings, you know, there was a live stream where where Wings's wife, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say girlfriend from now on, where Wings's girlfriend, I don't even classify her as his actual wife. It's just dumb. But Wings's girlfriend, or the person that he is with, they were going through some shit. They were going through some heavy shit, and I mean heavy shit. Like, I believe that she ended up getting some kind of cancer scare from her doctor. And you know what Wings's response to that shit was? You guys want to know what Wings the Redemption, what his whole response to his to his girlfriend's cancer scare was? He basically told her to to man up and deal with it. How fucking sad is that? How sad is that? Like, really just think about it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be ending the stream here for now. I'll be online later, and like I said, we'll probably be playing some games or something like that. We'll see. But that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys all have an awesome